Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to Spooky Sleuths Podcast. We are here today to talk about another cult.
Let's get a little culty.
The Way Down Cult with Gwen Shamblin. Let's get into it.
All right. I'm Sammi.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are Spooky Sleuths.
Gwen Shamblin was born in Memphis, Tennessee on February 18th, 1955.
Oh, her birthday is a few days from recording this.
It is. She spent most of her life in Memphis in an extremely religious household. Typical cult upbringing.
Yep.
Her father was a doctor and followed the Church of Christ. The Church of Christ is an ultra-conservative form of Protestantism. The environment played a large role in Gwen's future as a religious cult leader.
Right.
Granted, her church is like completely left field of what I know of the Church of Christ. It's like she took that as like the building blocks and then just
ran with it.
Yes, made it into some big conglomerate. Gwen's church, the Church of Christ, not the one that she created, was very strict. Female parishioners were not allowed to speak or preach the Bible.
Parishioners?
Yep.
Parishioners.
Listen, I can't talk.
Me either. It's okay.
She just likes to call me out when I get wrong. They weren't allowed to speak or preach the Bible publicly. Actually, in most sects of that aspect of Christianity, women are to be seen and not heard. Women could not lead the church. This is still practiced in Catholicism, Baptist, all that. Music is forbidden in the church as it doesn't follow the traditional way, but it's not that they don't have like hymns and things like that, but music like most
popular music,
like most churches do these days, like with the big projectors, the big bands,
the rock music,
the concerts. Yeah. The church practiced the New Testament version of the Bible. They didn't completely discredit the Old Testament, but everything they like strictly followed was in the New Testament. And if we're getting any of this stuff wrong, like, don't come for us. Correct us. I would like to know. I love learning. But this is just what we have gathered through our research.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this type of church, each one is ran differently than the next. They are under the Church of Christ veil.
But they're governed individually.
Yes.
Okay.
A single church governs itself and has their own rules. This is not to say not all Protestant churches are this way. Like her church will be different than like the Church of Christ in town where we're from.
Right.
Being involved in this church really shaped the way Gwen saw religion, more specifically how she saw the woman's role. She attended the Church of Christ until 1999 when she began her own church called the Remnant Fellowship Church in Brentwood, Tennessee. The main focus of the Remnant Fellowship Church was for Gwen to be able to finally share her weight loss advice based in religion.
I am not religious. I've said this before. I've never read the Bible. Does it talk about weight in the Bible?
Not anywhere that I've seen.
Okay.
Gwen became a registered dietitian in the late 70s to 80s. And then whatever she learned whenever she was becoming a dietitian, I don't think she ever changed. Like, she didn't move with the times.
Well, and I don't even know if she actually followed what she was taught in school.
Right. She did graduate from the University of Tennessee with a bachelor's degree in dietetics and a master's degree in food and nutrition with an emphasis in biochemistry.
So she's not dumb.
No, not at all, because not anyone can just go get a master's degree.
As someone who has a master's degree, I can concur.
With an emphasis in biochem, though?
No. Mine is health administration.
And don't let her lie to you. Daddy helped.
Only with one class.
Her passion for this field led her to begin a consulting practice in 1980. I swear I almost get MLM vibes with his story.
Yeah.
Like it's not an MLM, but it operates like one would. Gwen had struggled with her weight in college and wanted to use her experience and education to help people with the same issue. Gwen argues that genetics, metabolism, and behavior modification didn't explain why people were overweight. Her solution was the Way Down workshop.
Okay, so I have a medical condition. You have the same medical condition that makes it very difficult for us to lose weight based on our genetics, based on our metabolism. We can eat perfect We can exercise perfect. But unless we are starving ourselves, we won't lose weight.
Luckily, our parents weren't Gwen Shamblin.
Thank goodness.
The Weigh Down Workshop was started in 1986, and it did not include food restrictions, exercise, weigh-ins, or calorie counting. The problem with this is that the American Dietetic Association recommended exercise and food selection guidance that was not followed in this workshop.
So the people who know what they're doing are wrong, essentially, in her eyes.
Yeah, she's like, I have a master's degree. What I say goes.
Yeah, I'm going to use that.
Let me know how that goes.
It's not going to go very well.
The basic principles of this workshop that she created are that you can eat whatever you want, but you must wait until you are physically experiencing the signs of hunger before you eat. So you have to physically have the stomach growling, the nausea. You can eat until you're satisfied, and then you must stop. When you weren't hungry, you prayed to God, giving him your desire for food. The program started as a non-religious workshop, but in the 90s made the change to being more about religion. It consisted of 12 weeks of seminars with video and audio tapes from Gwen. The main point of the workshop was to pray away the pounds.
That's kind of a catchy slogan, though.
It is. And it's the Weigh Down Workshop.
Yeah. She was pretty clever with that.
Yes. And eventually, if you put your faith in God, he will keep you virtuous and protect you from overeating.
Okay.
My God gives out free will, but apparently hers can help take it away. I don't know how that balance works, but you do you. Gwen believed that gluttony is a moral failing, which is interesting when you consider that this is literally a cult we are discussing.
That is so moral.
Gwen stated that in the program, she teaches people how to stop bowing down to the refrigerator and how to bow back down to God.
Okay, but if I'm bowing to anybody, I'm still getting my exercise in. Might as well be the refrigerator.
It's the yoga child's pose. It's yoga. Now, Gwen was blowing up in popularity. I mean, a weight loss program where you don't have to count calories, you don't have to exercise.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. It sounds pretty good.
As for somebody that doesn't practice religion, Sammi, I don't think this would work for you.
Yeah, but if it did, if I was a Protestant, I'd be in.
She was writing books that sold millions of copies, and she was appearing on television shows such as Larry King Live and the Tyra Banks Show. So she wanted to expand her brand into her church.
Of course she did.
She wanted to have them both just interlaced.
There's more money like that.
It's all your eggs in one basket, but they're just your eggs.
Yeah.
She encouraged her followers to pray if they were hungry and to turn away from the love of food and turn toward the love of God.
I love food.
I love food, and I love me some Jesus. I don't necessarily think they're related.
No, it's like apples and oranges here. Insert food reference.
But Gwen believed that the church was her way to help people keep their weight down and stay saved by God. A former member said, "The faster you do it, the holier you are."
Oh, so if I did believe in God, I couldn't be saved unless I was skinny?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The church believed that the quicker you could drop the weight, the closer you get to God. So the quicker you lose the weight, the stronger your faith is. Which, psychologically, that makes sense, because if you are going into this workshop, like, okay, I, give all of my cravings to God,
Yeah.
and
If
then
you're
it
constantly
works.
praying,
And
yeah.
it works. I can kind of see how you would envision yourself closer to God. Like, I could see that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some other beliefs of the Remnant Fellowship Church are that husbands are Christ-like, women are supposed to be submissive to their husbands, and that children are to be obedient. And by I mean obedient.
Of course.
Gwen preached that these beliefs would lead to families finding happiness. We can't just be happy. We have to find it.
You create your own happiness sometimes.
Not by beating children.
No.
But we'll get there. Of course, there's more. The official website for the Remnant Church speaks, and I say speaks because it is still active. But it speaks to their beliefs that I just mentioned, but also is full of advice.
Advice.
Some subject of advice are how to raise a God-fearing family, how to retain your purity during courtship, and how to raise obedient children.
Why? I never understand the concept of God-fearing. You shouldn't fear God.
This is also at a time before millennials became parents, when parents wanted their children to fear them, even if that's not what they called it.
That's true.
So if they looked to God as being their, father, to fear him would also, I feel like, would translate to respect as well. I don't know. I don't exactly understand it completely because I think I had a very warped view.
Right.
So this is a hard one to do, Sammi.
I know. I
didn't realize how.
I'm glad this is your episode.
This makes sense that it's my episode, but I'm over here having an existential crisis. The church boasts healed marriages and an increase in joy, restored health, repaired finances, and obedient children.
I don't like the emphasis on obedient children.
You won't, just wait.
Great.
This all sounds strict, but not super culty at this point.
Right.
Let's remember that Gwen was all about the money. Money, money, money. And one of the reasons I don't even think it was anywhere in my research, but I think she wanted to combine Way Down in with her church because it's tax exempt status.
Ah, that makes sense.
I didn't see that written concrete, but
that would make sense.
It would. She saw the opportunity to make money and expand her brand to make even more money. When we turned full cult in 2004, likely years before this, but this is the first time the outside world got a whiff of the child abuse in the church promoting the abuse.
So, trigger warning for child abuse.
In 2004, an 8-year-old died in Atlanta.
Oh.
The child's parents were members of the Remnant Fellowship Church. During the investigation into the death of the child, the police found that the parents were disciplining the child the way the church recommended and took it to the extreme.
Oh. So they turned to their church leaders for advice.
I mean, I wasn't in the room with them, but it sounds like they took their advice, which was already extreme, but took it
to the next level.
Yes. The parents were both charged with the child's murder. I did look for something on the website about how to discipline children, and this is what I found. As you spend time with your children, you learn all about them, and you see that every child is different, which is true.
Yeah.
This is a golden opportunity to make sure your main goal is for your child to develop a relationship with God. As a Christian, that's still correct.
Mm-hmm.
There is no harshness in God nor Jesus Christ. There is only gentleness. Think about it. The discipline that God has given you has been extremely gentle. He has not disciplined you as your sins deserve. Have you not gotten away with a lot with God? I know we all have. He is so long-suffering and incredibly gentle, and you want your children to have those characteristics. To do that, they need to see these characteristics in you as you live that out. Then the children will be calm and long-suffering and gentle with each other as well.
Which, that sounds like the complete opposite of what they're telling people in person. So it seems like they have this facade on the internet, and maybe that's just now. Maybe it wasn't like that. This is their stance now that they have had a child die.
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
But no, all of that's promoting gentle parenting, which
you do?
Yeah. Well,
not she's one.
The plan. The plan is, not aggressive.
Yeah.
The church was promoting spanking children, but not the traditional hand to bottom spanking.
Mm-hmm.
The church encouraged long glue sticks to beat children with.
Ow!
The 8-year-old died. He was beaten with a 2 or 3 foot long glue stick.
Oh.
In fact, they handed out glue sticks at church.
How are you handing out glue sticks for parents to beat their kids with and posting that on your website?
Here's the offering plate. Put in $1, take a glue stick.
Right.
What?
But they need to see the gentleness in you. That's 2 opposite messages.
One church leader, Ted Anger, which...
Oh.
Right? Advised the mother of the young boy to spank him in the back of his thighs.
Oh.
And lock him in an empty room for 3 days with nothing but a Bible.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like, if that's what the parents did, it sounds like they did exactly what they were told. Not that they should have done it. That's not what I'm saying at all. But they can't say it was taken, the church can't say, well, they took it to the extreme. If that's what they told them to do.
Putting a child in the room, an 8-year-old, with nothing but a Bible.
Right.
I am, how old did we decide I was? 32. I am a 32-year-old woman, and I struggle reading through the Bible. It is difficult to understand. Like, that is an entire task in and of itself, just because of the language.
Well, and you're 8 years old.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I struggle, what in the world is that 8-year-old gonna do?
And they are not going to just sit there and read the Bible for 72 hours. They can't, like, they're...
The attention span won't let them. I don't think they could probably get past one verse. But this apparently helped the disobedient behavior from the boy, with Gwen stating, "That's a miracle. You've got a child that's going from just bizarre down to in control." So,
okay, so
praise
that's not
God.
when he died.
Right. One officer testified during the parents' trial that they couldn't link the boy's death to the church's teachings. But other members of the church believe there is a direct correlation.
I do too.
Same. But I don't think they just hit him once on the back of the thighs and shoved him in a room for 3 days.
I don't either. Oh, I think they deserve whatever sentence that they get. But I also believe that there's some blame on the Remnant Church too.
Oh, you ready? The Remnant Church had a website about the whole case, stating that they believe the parents were innocent. This is a PR nightmare.
Yeah.
The church blamed ex-church members for making false claims that the parents abused their child. The church even helped pay for the parents' legal fees.
Because that's guilt.
The medical examiner for the case believed otherwise. The report from the medical examiner stated the boy died from blunt force trauma to the head that was associated with acute and chronic abuse.
I'm going to believe the coroner, plain and simple.
That there's nothing opinionated about what the coroner or belief driven. That's
and
fact.
They have a whole website about the parents being innocent. They're paying for their lawyers. That tells me
you're guilty.
That they're guilty.
Yep. Another former member talked about the expectations of children within the church. She stated that they were taught to absolutely and unequivocally submit, and if they didn't submit, there were ramifications. Not all families used corporal punishment, though, but they did use verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and mental manipulation. If the children in a family were not obedient, the family would lose favor of the church. So they were also putting on a show. Just a side note here, the parents of the child who died also lost another child 11 weeks before the 8-year-old.
Wow.
The 17-month-old baby.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
Died from pneumonia. People think that the blame is on SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. Now, this is not to imply that the parents caused the death of this baby.
Right.
SIDS is unpredictable.
There's no prevention for it.
Exactly. And there's no way to predict if it's going to happen. It just does.
Like, they don't even know the cause of SIDS.
It's suspected to be related to how babies breathe when they sleep, but that's still not anything you can predict.
But that's just awful that baby died, and you have to wonder if that their emotions from that played some role in how the child was behaving and how they treated him.
I feel like psychologically that all has to be connected.
Yeah.
And you have to wonder, how do they feel now? Or did we ever feel guilty?
Both of your kids are gone. I mean, I don't believe that they did anything to the first one to cause their death, but
in your grief, you went overboard? Like, is that what happened here? People do crazy things when they're grieving.
They do, and that's really sad if that's why this happened.
This is
it's still
speculation
sad.
And total speculation. Like, we're just spitballing here.
Yeah.
Another quote from the website states, "Do not spend more attention on clothes or the outside appearance of a child than you do on the inside of a child. There is a soul that will live forever, a spirit that is preparing for eternal life, and nothing else matters." Which is interesting because Gwen is most notable because of her appearance to the outside world.
That hair, yes. She always looks bougie.
Like, while this is referring to parents with their children, I'm thinking about Gwen and how she portrays herself.
Right.
The math isn't mathing. Exactly. If you look up Gwen Shamblin Lara, you will see a woman with nice clothes and huge hair. She was well known for her hair, which seemed to get bigger and bigger through the years. When creating a docuseries for Lifetime, an actor described her big hair as, "The hair gets bigger and she just gets less and less in touch with the reality." which is
feel
true.
like that's true.
Yeah. Gwen started to cause some issues in the church in 2018 when she married Joe Lara. Joe was an actor who starred in Tarzan in Manhattan.
Okay.
The problem was, to marry Joe, she had to leave her husband David.
Oh, so she was,
Oh, no. Listen, this was an issue for the church because Gwen was very against divorce for members of her church.
Well, yeah, not for her.
Her divorce caused members to be confused and question her.
I wonder why.
Especially because, not that I care, but because Joe was overweight and did not embody the physical standards that Gwen preached her congregation.
Yeah, so you're not good enough to be part of my congregation, but we'll exempt you from that.
Other members thought Joe was a gold digger, which might track. He wanted to use Gwen's fortune for his country music career.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's so close to Nashville. In May of 2021, so it's not even like this is forever ago. Like this,
Right.
Gwen, Joe, and 5 other members of the church got into a private plane to head to Palm Beach, Florida. The plane crashed and killed all passengers.
Oh.
The plane wasn't in the air long after takeoff, crashing into Percy Priest Lake in Tennessee. The National Transportation Safety Board stated that the plane most likely crashed after entering the clouds and the pilot becoming disoriented. There's no evidence of any mechanical malfunctions or
No
failures.
foul play there.
Gwen's children, Michael Shamblin, Elizabeth Shamblin, Hannah, currently keep the church open. They have active sermons, and you can even watch online.
No, thank you.
After years of encouraging child abuse and berating people for being overweight, the church remains to have a congregation of over 1,500 people and they're still boasting a combined weight loss of over 30,000 pounds.
Wow. So her children are just carrying on the legacy.
If you dive deeper, which if you guys are more interested on the inner workings of her family, let us know in a comment down below if you'd like to know more. Because this can get deep as well. But Michael isn't nearly as involved.
Mm-hmm.
From what I read, Elizabeth kind of runs the show, but Michael has stock in it, so
He's there.
yeah, he's a Shamblin name.
Yeah. Well, that was interesting. It made me angry.
Yeah, I especially as someone who has struggled with weight loss and body image and everything that she was supposed to stand for.
Yeah, I don't like her.
And then recommending and handing out glue sticks to beat kids with. Like, have you ever felt one of those glue sticks? Like, they're talking about the glue sticks that go into glue guns.
Oh. Ow.
Yeah, like the bendy.
Even the short ones hurt.
Right, it's like going out and picking a switch off a tree.
Oh. That's awful.
Yeah, not like a glue stick like that a child would use, but like the glue sticks that go into glue guns.
Oh man.
Because they can get rather long.
Well, everyone, please go check out our Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Spooky Sleuths Pod, where we post YouTube videos every week, and we post regularly on Instagram and TikTok.
If you guys made it this far in the video, leave us a praying hands emoji in the comments down below.
Yeah, let us know if you want more information on this one. We'll be happy to do a part 2.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to us. We're here every week.
I'm pretty sure you just said like, just so I wouldn't say smash that like button.
I was trying to save you. I'm sorry. But on that note,
Stay spooky, friends.